All right, I think we can start. Okay, welcome to our webinar, RedTrack and RichPush. We'll talk about advanced hacks to boost your push campaign's ROI. And I'm here. My name is Pavlo. I'm product specialist at RedTrack, and with me is Eugene Kuznetzov, product manager at RichAds, and also RichPush. But so RedTrack is as you might know, is a cloud-based tracking software. So you can manage, analyze your tracking traffic data. Our main values are ad tracking, management, and optimization to improve ROI, which we're going to talk about today. Passing to Eugene.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Eugene, product manager at RichPops. We are a traffic source. We're going to present our new user interface, talk about campaign creation and optimization, and give away a really cool universal whitelist to start any campaign smoothly.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to start from screen sharing RedTrack dashboard. Oh, and by the way, guys, don't be afraid to ask questions in the chat. We'll make a Q&A session like in the end of the webinar, and we'll try to answer all of your questions. So yeah, starting up. Okay, guys, you can see my dashboard now. Yep. Also, sign up on our academy in RedTrack.io. We already have a push course there to start you up. So we'll skip some parts from the basic setup, and I'll talk about the most important one. So we chose to work with ClickDealer in this case, like in most cases. And here is the #1 hack why I chose to work with ClickDealer. So you guys might know that there are a lot of options to choose from in the network department. And basically, most of them have gambling. Yeah, you can see it. And what I did is I just chose the one I liked, and I was lucky to have a good account manager there who helped me out with choosing offers, giving me approximate on CTR, CR, helping me with creatives, helping me out with landing pages, etc. Socialize more with the guys from the industry, basically, and you will see much more, profit from your contacts. And if you're not a fan of this method, socializing with people, you can always see what offer converts or gets the most traffic with the spy tools like Adplexity, AdMobiSpy, etc. So yeah, moving on. We made a double postback for this one. It's made like this. You either have two options. You can use your default postback, but use a transaction as well. Like you would get a registration on default conversion, and you would get a transaction or on deposit in gambling. Because we chose for this webinar, we chose a gambling offer, which is this one, Mr. Bet for Argentina. And we already put the tracking link from ClickDealer here, so we don't waste time. So we're moving on to creating RichPush in RedTrack, which is kind of easy because you type in Rich, press Add. You can see a postback already filled out for you. The macros are already there. And all we have to do is, if you are using API with RedTrack Pro subscription, you can put an API key here and use our auto optimization rules for RichPush as well. So yeah, we've created Rich Ads, and we are moving on to campaigns, which is this one. I have already created preliminary. And yeah, how it looks from the beginning is you press new and you add up everything you've put together before. And let's say, I don't know, just one. Default domain, custom domain, we'll skip that. You don't have to put any value here because, let me choose an offer here. Because in the tracking link, you can see we already pass cost. So on every click, RedTrack will record the price in the reports, and you don't have to bother with that. That's it for the campaign creation. Passing to Eugene.
All right. I'll show my browser. Yep. So as we've mentioned before, we are running push campaign. So we choose push. This is our new interface, which will be available for users tomorrow and for all the rest quite soon. I think about next week. So let's start campaign name. Let's choose something pretty easy like Argentina. I'm copying URL that Pavlo gave me. So we're using 3 creatives for this campaign. Let's duplicate it just to make sure we don't really copy each time. So we have prepared 3 creatives. We're using emojis in text and messages just to boost CTR. Is a really cool way to increase your click-through rate. It works almost for every type of offer, for any type of country regions. So I think there is no reason not to use it. So yeah, creatives is a really important part of any push campaign. As we are targeting only on mobile phones, it's important to upload only small images, which are icons. So let's select them and crop it. Now you can see how they will look on mobile phones of the users. So yeah, we're testing 3 creatives. And let's move to tracking. Tracking is really an important part of any campaign. Rich Ads, it allows to use such unique features like target CPA, automated rules, and microbidding. And it also allows to rotate creatives based not only on CTR, but on conversion rate as well. We allow to use 3 types of tracking, pixel, image, and post-back request. And for this campaign, we're using post-back request as we are fully integrated with RedTrack. Yeah, for targeting, we are targeting only Argentina, as we mentioned before. Here we can see the minimum cost per click and the recommended one. We can target different regions and we can target different cities, but we are leaving it as it is. Just to start, we're targeting devices, we're targeting only mobile devices, so we unselect tablet and desktop. And I usually recommend to exclude all type of Androids like 2, 3, 4, 5. They usually underperform a lot, so I wouldn't recommend to use them. For impression cap, I recommend 1 impression per user per 1 day. Try not to bother your user with lots of impressions every day. If you need to have a more unique audience, try use 7 days or 30 days. You can also use clicks cap, so you can limit impression and limit click at the same time. For advanced targeting, there are lots of different options, like you can target browsers, you can target browser languages. For example, we can target only Spanish language, we can target connection type, carriers, and IP in different formats. So let's move to budget. Most of advertisers use CPC option, and it's really just way easier to work with. As we see before, the recommended CPC is 1 cent. So let's put it down here, and let's put $100 per day. And there's an option to choose how the budget will span. There's as soon as possible and evenly throughout the day. I recommend to use as soon as possible because it's always cheaper than even span. And let's put CPA goal, which allows our system to analyze on your CPA goal and make some cool optimization after. Yeah, there are options to run on all lists or just select your whitelist if you had prepared it before. Usually, I recommend to start with all sources. I have a small gift to all of our webinar viewers. I'll paste a whitelist to the chat with my 25 favorite subscriber list. It's way easier to start with them and to run any type of campaign smoothly. So here we go. That's exclusive for our viewers. Do not share it anywhere else. Yeah, and there is an option to target only new subscribers. What does it mean? It means that you are targeting users that subscribe to push notifications only 7 days, 1 to 7 days ago. So before, it required a higher bid and higher minimum bid, but now we're moving from it, so it doesn't require anything else. You can still put your minimum CPC, like 0.3 cents, and target only new subscribers. New subscribers is really great if you need a high CTR, and it's really great to get if you have some really wide audience offer and you target and you buy a lot of traffic, you need to target only new users. Yeah, basically like this. There is an option to create a schedule. Previously, it was a pain for our advertisers to create a schedule, but now it's really easy to make any schedule targeting. Yeah, but now we just leave it as it is. So the point is to experiment a lot with creatives. Creatives is a really important part of any push campaign. Try to test at least 3-5 creatives in the same campaign. Use emoji. It always gives up to 10% to your CTR. Use holidays as a reason to launch a campaign, and use new subscribers only targeting as it boosts your CTR a lot. I mean, like 3-5 times. And also, I recommend to. Oh yeah, there is a new feature. You can paste a city or region macro to the text, for example, like this, and the user will see his city in this message. So yeah, yeah, I'm passing to Pablo. We are moving to optimization process soon.
Yep, catching up, starting screen sharing again. Just a sec, guys. Yep. Okay, you can see the campaign edit, the main edit, and we'll talk about A/B testing and rules. So let's say you have this offer, right? And you've received a pre-landing or landing page from advertiser, which comes just right before the sign up page or deposit page, whatever. So you get it, but it looks like it's not working, or you just don't want to check it out even on lunch. So you mess up with the code and get yourself similar landings, let's say even 3 or how much you want. So it could be similar. I recommend personally using one landing or creative and create similar ones, like 3 to 5. And you can set up streams like this and enable this button, Tumblr, with auto optimize every, let's say, 10 conversions based on CR. So whatever combo has better CR, every 10 conversions will receive more traffic automatically. So you don't have to redirect traffic between the landing pages or even offers. Like you can set up streams like you want. So yeah, moving on to rules. We have 2 set of rules with RichPush at the moment, which is campaign optimization and creative optimization. What I recommend running at first is if ROI is less than 100% for last 50 conversions, which in this case is actually registrations for which we are not paid, but these conversions might turn into deposits. So if their ROI for last 50 registrations is less than 100%, we pause the campaign like globally, so it doesn't run at all. So you don't waste any more money on that. And on the creative optimization, I recommend optimizing on CR. And I've put a rule. You can play with it as well as with the ROI. So if the CR is less than 1% for last 1,000 clicks, we'll pause the creative on RichAd side and let you know on your email that we did it, basically. And yeah, that's it. Don't forget to A/B test on this side, more like with landings. And don't forget to set up global rules so you don't waste more money on testing out traffic. That's it for optimization. Passing to Eugene.
All right. Opening the browser. So yeah, we are at the sources section, which allows you to optimize your campaign with 3 different types. First of all, you can create black and white lists. There is a hierarchy of offers. Basically, it's really important to understand how it works. There are subscriber lists, which are huge type of sources. There are around 100 of them. There are publishers and sites. Every subscriber list consists of different publishers, and every publisher consists of different websites. So if you have some expensive subscriber list, you can just select unselected, and you just blacklist it like that. If you have a list of different publishers to blacklist, you can just copy it from a reporting section or from tracker and paste it down here. The second idea how to optimize your campaign is to apply an automated rules. It will check every 20 minutes and apply the script changes. So I typically recommend 2 types of automated rules. So for example, we can apply a blacklist to a publisher if there are 2 conditions. Let's say we have non-converting sources and we want to blacklist them. So if there are 0 conversions and we spend on them more than, let's say, $4, we will blacklist them. So we can put a period like last 24 hours and do it as soon as possible. So that means every 20 minutes. And the second rule I typically apply is blacklisted expensive sources. So let's put conversion sum more than 1, and CPA is more than 5, more than that we want. So yeah, that's very typical rules. And you can just play with numbers. You can just play with periods. You can apply changes once a day. And this third thing, you can put a market bidding list. So what does it mean? If you have, for example, a really cool source that you want to scale, you can just put a publisher and this his ID and multiply it by, let's say, 1.2, which means that you bid 20% more. Or let's say you have real cool results on Android 9 and you don't want to put a higher bid on your campaign. So let's put Android 9 and multiply it by 1.5. That means that we have 1 cent for our campaign, but for Android 9, we bid 1.5 cents. Second thing you can do, you can just put a lower bid to specific non-converting OS or like or source or device. There are 13 different parameters that you can manipulate with. So for example, you have lots of conversions from Android 9, but they're expensive, but you don't want to blacklist because it gives you a lot of conversions. So you can just put a lower bid just on this type of operational system. So let's say you want to multiply it by 0.5. So your campaign will work on 1 cent, but this type of source will work on 0.5 cent, which is a really like an accurate way to blacklist your campaign. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty easy. You can just apply rules. Yeah, and we have integration with RedTrack, so you can pause your campaign automatically. If your campaign become expensive, you can post different creatives if they're not working as they should. Yeah, we have a promo action. You can spend $200 on your campaign at RichPush and get $200 from us. That's for new and inactive users with only custom domains. I'll put a link down to a chat. So yeah, you can use it. And let's move to Q&A session, I guess. We will select. You can still ask us different type of questions. We'll answer them.
We had during the webinar, so you can start answering them if you can.
Yes, there will be a replay. You can watch it on YouTube or on other different platforms as well afterwards.
Okay, so what's the one feature that helps to improve campaigns ROI at RichPush in your experience?
I usually work a lot with microbidding because it gives me that accurate kind of targeting and accurate optimization. Yeah, I think microbidding is really a top feature that we offer.
Again, question for you, but I can answer too.
Yeah,
I mean, you can answer, and I'll give my opinion on that.
Yeah, I'm usually blocking all alt Android versions because they're not converting really expensively. So most of pro advertisers just get rid of them or put low CPC on them just to make sure you don't spend money on all devices. Yeah, and probably if you have different opinion, you can share it.
No, it's not different. It's just in addition to yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically older versions of Android are not reliable source of paying users, like like real phones. Um, they might be older versions, but not really. And most of the time, you're dealing with bot traffic, especially in Android area. So with Android, when you're working with Android, I recommend running as much filters on Android versions as you can, because with iOS, it's much easier. It's like you just target the current version of iOS, and that's it. Everything else is either irrelevant or bot traffic. So yeah.
All right. Totally agree. What protocols do you advise to run now while coronavirus is everywhere? Betting something else? Well, betting is kind of in a very interesting position. There is only one country to bet, uh, as I know, and it's Belarus. But yeah, there are lots of verticals to try. I think binary options are still really huge right now. Um, I think casino type of offers worked. Um, yeah, there are problems with many type of offers like nutritions in many countries because of coronavirus. I think you need to ask your account manager in your network what is the best one right now, just to make sure you don't spend your money on something that's not working right now or will have problem in the future.
Okay, this one is technical one.
Yeah, rules is great out on my RichPush account. Why is that? I think there is a mistake. I can pass it to support, which is a button on the bottom side. So yeah, I think there should be a mistake or some logical moment.
Okay, next one. Native ads or push, I guess, or pop ads. Which one is the best or are the best?
Yeah, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
what works best for you? Basically, native ads is whole another deal. And in my opinion, pop ads is like a primitive push campaign. So I would not work with pop anymore, and I would work either with push or native. So yeah.
Yeah, we offer all type of this traffic. I think push is a mix of pop and native ads. I think pop is really good if you can work with sources. Native is really good if you can work with creatives, because there's a shift towards what you can do and what is your like best way to work with campaigns and how to scale them. So typically, I really like just got used to work with push traffic, and yeah, I think it's all really it's all works if you know how to work with them, because they're all just small type of things that you need to understand about each of these formats.
Okay. Mobile or desktop, what is better for push? Of course, mobile. This is my take on it.
Yeah, and there are offers like antivirus offers for desktop that works for input traffic. Yeah, but most of the traffic is mobile, so yeah, push traffic is mobile is better push.
Okay, next one. Any rules to detect bot traffic? Well, I and all of us really think that Rich Ads doesn't have much of an issue with bot traffic, but if you're not sure about any traffic source, you can enable it in the campaign settings. It's just a button called fraud check. You will see it, you will not miss it, unless you're reading in Braille. So yeah, it's 10 cents per 1K clicks, 1,000 clicks, and it gives data from FraudScore.io or AI, our partners. We are using their databases. It's basically integrated, so you don't have to wait for the reports. Yeah, you can check. You can check for bot traffic on any source you ran with RedTrack. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're really just a common way to work with bot traffic. I think the first thing you should look on CTR. Low CTR is not really good, and high CTR is not really good for push traffic. So it's kind of suspicious. So you need to look on it. Look on LP CTR. That's why most of advertisers use some kind of pre-landing pages. And yeah, if you have some expensive source like we do, like subscriber list, if you have some expensive subscriber list, just blacklist it from the start. Do not waste your money. And yeah, we do work with other fraud score like type of companies to detect bots. We also have our own in-house system. So yeah, bots are really really an issue we work with, and yeah, we're trying to give the best results. If you have any kind of ideas on how to detect it more like accurately, or you have some suspicion on some specific source, just feel free to pass it to any kind of account manager or like support. We will be really happy to listen to the feedback.
Okay, next one. What is the biggest mistake new affiliate does when they launch campaigns at RichPush or I think any other traffic source?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can answer because I'm answering, so maybe you can answer as well.
Yeah, so the biggest mistake when people launch campaigns is they expect they can spend like 5 minutes getting the campaign running and they will see money coming in. Well, at first you will lose money, almost 100% you will lose money, and it's up to you how much of it you will lose, if you, and how much work you dedicate to optimize and setting up new creatives, trying new ways all the time. It's actually what people keep preaching about all the time, and people never listen, but yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, I think we did some analysis on why do some affiliates succeed and why others not. I think it's pretty similar across all the sources. And number one failure was not to create any type of blacklist. That's the simplest way to work with your campaign, and that's the most common mistake. Yep. Let's move to other question. Oh. I started promoting the same gambling offer on push for Germany. Day one was minus 10%. Day two is now at minus 80% ROI. How is it possible? Pavlo?
Yeah. So, well, to give you a proper answer, I'd have to look at your report, like all of the data. But my guess is if you didn't take any action on day one, when it was at minus 10%, then here's your answer. You didn't take any action prior to day two. But yeah, let us know if you want to share the data, and maybe me or Eugene could help you.
Yeah, and honestly, I recommend to test an offer for multiple countries, because I've seen this a lot when some similar offer can work for Germany but not work for Austria, like it's Switzerland. It's really like about to test all type of geos and to find the best one. Try to not invest all your budget in one country. What is the best traffic type for casino traffic? Native, pop, push? I would say that they all work for casino. Casino is that type of offer that work, and many type of traffic channels, basically everywhere. So there are just different approaches how to work within this type of channels. I would say native and push is really huge for casino. Maybe native even more. All right.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the name. The number 13, you shared the campaign ID and the link. Could you somehow contact me on Skype or Telegram? I'll leave it out. So I need your email to access the account. I'll take a look. And next question. Can you guys give me some advice how to bid from test campaign and when to try to raise bids? Well, in my inexperienced way, I can tell you that you raise the bids when you see conversions and when you see really good conversions. And yeah.
Yeah, push traffic is not really that reliable on CPC you put. It's not pops traffic. When the higher you beat, the better traffic you get. So yeah, try to put a low beat if you see conversions and it's below your CPA goal. Try to raise your CPC. That's pretty easy. Just make sure you're participating in competition for all sources. So, for example, because there are different competition, different sources, because one advertiser could buy all the traffic from a specific subscriber list. So make sure you're participating in every subscriber list competition, and yeah, then you can just raise your beats to specific sources. Yeah, that's pretty common.
All right, next one. Do you refund traffic cost if the fraud filter option detects bot traffic?
Yeah, basically, if we have a suspicion to a source, yeah, we do refund all the costs, but we need to have a proof, yeah, and we can refund it.
So let's say I'm a RedTrack user and I enabled a fraud check on campaign with you guys, and then I send you guys a report saying, let's say 10%, 15% of the traffic was 100% bots. Will you do a refund?
Yeah, we do have lots of built-in anti-fraud solutions. If we have a low rate on them, we can do a refund. Sure. We just double check if it really a fraud, because we do have lots of different ideas on how to detect bot traffic. Yeah.
So you make a comparison between fraud score report and your reports and refund those that are correct in both sides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next one. Could you comment on what countries work best for COD Nura offers? I had 30 COD conversions rejected 30 out of 30 COD conversions rejected for India push traffic. Eugene?
All right. I think Indonesia is working for COD Nura, Vietnam, Thailand, but I think it's possible to have such approved rates on push traffic. So I think that's a problem with your network, but that's a quite common numbers, as I've heard on different conferences. Yeah, because usually try to work with different countries and try to work with different networks, because 30% approval seems to be okay for push traffic.
Okay. Next question is, during this Corona time, do you see more success in casino offers since many people stay home? Well, yeah, because the usage of apps and websites and internet overall is increased. That means that gamblers are playing even more. But take into consideration that many of affiliates or many people who work with advertising are spending much more money right now. Like the market right now is overheated. So let's say I have a friend who paid, let's say, $10 CPM for, I'm not gonna talk about the campaign, but $10 CPM on Facebook. Right now, he would pay $30 to $40 per CPM on Facebook because the market is overheated. So it's kind of thin ice here with the advertising. So just stick to your working combos if you have them. If you don't, like, look around Corona. Yeah.
All right. Let's move to another question. What is the problem can we face when we blacklist ID on RichPush? What's that a problem? I think there's no. I think you can just blacklist a huge source and you won't get traffic from it, because there can be bad days and good days. If you have a good publisher ID that suddenly become expensive, try to put a lower bid via microbidding, and yeah, that's it. You will just have a normal volumes and normal results after, and you can just undo it after.
Okay. I think it's the last question for now. What is better for dating, native, push, or pop?
I would say native. What do you think?
For dating? Yeah, of course, like putting up a blog or something like I found my true love.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and also I see a comment here about golden time with Corona now, with casinos. Yes, but I think like gambling is like king of everything right now in advertising. I mean, like you go to RedTrack, you create a network, and when you see this list, you see gambling offers in each network. So yeah, gambling is king, and it's even more golden now. Okay, next question for you, by the way. Eugene, which offer to choose in gambling niche now?
Definitely not betting, but yeah, I think try some casino. I think that's a good thing right now.
What about cyber sports betting? I bet you can find some affiliate programs, like, I don't know.
Yeah, we have tested before, but I don't think it's really that kind of successful for WAPA or push traffic because usually it's a lot younger audience that you typically see on push or pop traffic. All right, and we have a question on what countries best for binary options now. I think Saudi Arabia, Arab Emirates, all type of that countries work a lot right now. Usually is South Africa work really good for a long time. I think you can jump in this type of offers. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're getting kind of similar questions right now, like we have answered before. So we'll break it down. I think we'll break it down again for gambling, for binary, and for dating and telecommunication right now. And we'll stop answering those questions afterwards. And we'll send out like a summary of this webinar via email. So if you missed the answer to your question, I bet some of it will be there. Okay, so casino. In my opinion, Canada is good. Canada is good, yeah, for casino.
All right, guys. We'll have recording after. So if you have any questions, we can answer it after. Australia, yeah. There is a question about Australia and casino. Yeah, that's working. Casino works a lot right now for Canada, Australia, and South Africa. That's really a common thing these days. So yeah, it was a great webinar. Thank you for your time, and this webinar will be available afterwards. So if you have any questions, feel free to Skype me or email me. I will be happy to answer all of your questions. So yeah, have a nice day, guys.
Yeah, guys, leaving my Telegram as well. Thank you for your time.